Previously, we used the if function to determine if a salesperson was eligible for bonus or not. We have the function in column F, and this time we check if the person made a profit of more than 2,000 Swiss francs. If yes, then the person is eligible for bonus. If not, then no. And we have a small sample here, so we see that there are 4 people who are eligible for bonuses. George Green with 3,500, John Davis with 4,000, Paul Rode with 7,000, and Tobias Ferguson with 6,900. There are cases when we don't actually need this check, and the only thing that we are interested in is how many people are eligible for bonuses. In order to get that number, we can use the Countif function. Of course, the Countif function is a simple combination of the count function and the if function. Let's select cell B19, and you see that in cell A19 I put the text number of people eligible for bonus, and in cell B19 we should return the number of people that are eligible for a bonus, and we should return 4 here. Let's use the insert function command. Now the insert function command is here always next to the formula bar, but actually it's also on the formulas tab on the left side, so you can click here, or actually you can just click Shift F3, but let's just use now the one from the formulas tab. For me the Countif function is on top, but if it's not on top for you, then simply search for Countif and press go, and you should have these 2 results, Countif and Countifs, but let's stay with Countif for now. Let's click on OK. The Countif function counts the number of cells within a range that meet the given condition. So we will give the Countif function a range of cells. We will give the range from D2 to D17, so the profit column. That will be the range argument, and the range is the range of cells from which you want to count non-blank cells. So blank cells will not be counted by default. But of course we want only those cells to be counted that meet our criteria. And you see we have here the criteria argument. Criteria is the condition in the form of a number, expression, or text that defines which cells will be counted. Our criteria will be greater than 2,000. So the same criteria, or actually it's more like a criterion, as in column F. But let's get back to the range, and let's just select cells D2 to D17. You see that Excel actually processed these values. Now let's click in the criteria box, and let's type greater than 2,000. Before I click into the range box again, notice that Excel will automatically add double quotes around the criteria, and they will appear in the formula bar as well. So let me click in the range box. So if you manually type the Countif function and you want to check for this condition or a condition similar to this, so greater than 2,000 for example, then make sure that you use the double quotes so that you pass this condition as a text. You can already see that 4 results will be returned, so our Countif function works as expected. Let's click on OK. And indeed, the number 4 has been returned, so the 4 people who are eligible for a bonus. Notice that now I selected 4 cells, and in the bottom right of our Excel window, we see count 4. We can also check how many people are eligible for bonus this way, but of course this is a very manual and very inefficient way of doing so. It's much more efficient to use the Countif function. By the way, if you select numbers or a range of numbers, on the bottom right of the screen or the Excel window, Excel actually gives you some quick feedback. Count is the number of cells that you selected, and you see that the sum of these 16 cells is 38,570, and it also gives you the average of these 16 cells. But let's get back to the Countif function, and let's select B19, and let's check how the Countif function is evaluated. So let's go to the Formulas tab and evaluate formula. Unfortunately, we will not see much. you see that the whole function is underlined, which means that if I click on evaluate, I will see the result instantly. So there's not much to learn from this. And immediately 4 is returned. So let's close this evaluate formula box for now. So what happens is that function goes through the range, this time from D2 to D17, and if a cell is greater than 2000 or the value in the cell is greater than 2000, then Excel counts it or adds it to the count. And if not, if that cell is less than 2000 or the value is less than 2000 in a cell, then Excel will disregard that cell. So this is pretty straightforward. Let's modify our formula a bit. So let's say that greater than or equal to 2000 instead of greater than 2000. So we just have to add an equal sign between the greater than symbol and the value 2000. And we can press enter. The count was updated to 5 because we have a salesperson, Daniel Kin, who exactly made a profit of 2,000 Swiss francs. Of course, we haven't updated the formula here in column F, so you don't see him as someone who is eligible for bonus. Of course, we can just get rid of the greater than symbol, and then only those will be eligible for a bonus who made exactly a profit of 2,000 Swiss francs, and that will be Daniel Kin, so the Countif function should return 1 in this case. And indeed, 1 has been returned. The point of this video is that with the Countif function, like in the case of earlier examples, you can use different operators to test values. So to check if a value is greater than another value or exactly the same as another value or less than or equal to another value, for example.